Hello, hello, everybody. So good to see you here for today's masterclass. Today, we'll be talking about how to become an international speaker and book weekly speaking opportunities. Whether you're an aspiring speaker or you're an existing speaker, you're probably in the right place for today's masterclass. If you're joining me live right now, what I'd love for you to do is use a chat box feature and introduce yourself. Let me know where in the world you are, and also a little bit more about yourself, about your business, if you are an existing speaker or you're an aspiring speaker. It's so good to see you here. I ran this workshop last week and we had more than 50 people signed up for this masterclass and we had so much engagement. So I hope you actually get some value, opportunities from this workshop, and also learn a little bit more. If you're starting out in public speaking, if you're thinking of maybe applying for the upcoming Women Thrive Summit, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Our speaking opportunities open every year, and I'm very, very excited to let you know that this year in 2022, we're actually going to be running 2 Women Thrive Summits. This is our annual event that we do for women empowerment. And this has been my passion to support speakers into becoming international speakers. We have hosted hundreds of speakers through our platform already. And today I will be sharing some of my insights as event host, as someone who has hosted and interviewed many, many speakers from all around the world. So today you can actually learn a little bit more about becoming a speaker, preparing yourself for speaking opportunities, and possibly landing your next speaking gig. So who's excited? Let me know who's in the chat right now, who's watching this live. And also if you're watching this on replay, do make sure you also use the chat box feature and introduce yourself. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you from Trinidad and Tobago, and I am aspiring speaker. Really excited. Amazing. So we'll see how many people join, but it doesn't matter. What I want you to do is to make sure that you switch off any distractions, grab yourself pen and paper, really dedicate this time for some more insights, some personal growth. I am sure you're going to be learning something from today's masterclass. So do make sure you dedicate this time for today's masterclass to really dive into public speaking. If you have any questions, ask throughout the workshop. I may be able to stop and answer those questions. And if not, we'll answer those at the end. I encourage you to stay till the end so I can tell you a little bit more about our upcoming speaking opportunities coming up for later this year. So our next event is in October, and I'm very, very excited because our speaker applications are going to be opening very, very soon. Right, so who's ready? Who's excited to get started? What I'm going to be doing is sharing my slides. And if you're just joining, do make sure you introduce yourself. Good to see you here today. Of course, there will be a replay for this, or lifetime access replay for all of you who are joining this workshop today. So what I'm going to do is share my slides with you. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so hopefully that's not going to get in the way. So I may have a little cough here and there, but hopefully we'll stay good throughout this workshop. Marquita, did I say that right? Marquita from Wisconsin. Oh my God, I can't say this name. Wisconsin, is that right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is share my slides. Let me know if you can see. Okay, good. Marquita, okay, awesome. Good to see you here, ladies. So today's masterclass is how to become an international speaker and attract weekly speaking opportunities. So let's get started. I know this is going to be a valuable masterclass for you if you're looking to become a speaker, or maybe you are already a speaker, but you're looking to attract more speaking opportunities. So let's begin. So today's agenda is really how to prepare for speaking opportunities. I will be sharing some of my insights as an event host and who has reviewed thousands of applications of speakers over the last 5 years. How to connect with event organizers and pitch yourself as a speaker. I'll be telling you a little bit more about how to build your own stage and start your speaking career if you haven't even started yet. And then I will tell you a little bit more about how to leverage your existing network and existing speaking opportunities for more. So if you start out on public speaking, I will show you how you can actually leverage that and position yourself as an expert for more speaking opportunities. So hopefully today's masterclass will be valuable for you. Like I said, do make sure you stay engaged in the chat. If you need anything, just let me know. I have another screen. I'll keep a lookout for that. So let's get started. Are you looking to share your story and impact the world? For me, sharing my story has been fundamental to my business growth. I know there's so much noise online and there are so many people who are doing different things, but what really sets you apart is your story. What really connects with your ideal audience is the stories that you have lived through. Maybe you have gone through some difficult situations in life. Maybe you feel like I am alone going through it. Maybe you have gone through a painful divorce, or maybe you have failed in life or business, and it felt like the most shameful thing that you could have been through. I guarantee you, the minute you start sharing your story vulnerably and powerfully, you will connect with your ideal audience. So, this is a beautiful way to impact the world and impact the lives of others. If you have a powerful mission, I guarantee you, once you learn how to share your story, it's going to be really, really powerful for you. In today's masterclass, we'll also talk about how to become a sought after speaker, so how to attract those speaking opportunities, how to position yourself as an expert, and what do you actually need to start applying for speaking opportunities. So, if these are the things that you're looking to do right now, say yes in the comments below so I know you're actually in the right place for today's masterclass. And of course, many of you have said, I want to actually generate revenue from speaking. I want to be paid speaker. Now, in today's masterclass, we of course don't have enough time to cover that area because there are so many areas in how to monetize your speaking. There's so many ways. There's more than one way of monetizing your speaking. This could be a whole masterclass or even two on this subject. So today we're not going to be touching on that. But if that is your goal, you got to start somewhere. You got to start with doing free speaking engagements, podcasts, interviews, radios, getting your story out there, being heard, being seen. And then eventually when event organizers, conference organizers will start to hear and see your story, rest assured that you will be invited to paid speaking opportunities or find ways to monetize your speaking opportunities. Of course, towards the end, I will tell you a little bit more about my program as well. At the end, I want to invite you to see whether you are the right fit for our Speakers Academy. So I don't want to make this, of course, it's a free webinar. I'm giving you as much value as I can, but towards the end, I will tell you a little bit more about our Speakers Academy. You're okay with that? Let's keep going. And thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I just did a podcast interview. Yana says, amazing. Podcasts are powerful. This is like the first step of getting your story out there and actually positioning yourself as the expert. So I'm excited for you, Yana. So, did you know that public speaking can help you reach a whole new audience that you have never reached before? Like Ayana said, she did a podcast interview. That is reaching new audience she never knew existed, or the audience never knew she existed. You are leveraging, you're building your expert status in your industry because you're sharing your story, you're sharing your expertise, and you're showing up in new areas, new channels, new stages where your story can be heard. Recently, in my DMs, I received so many messages from a recent podcast I'd done with Lisa Johnson. And these ladies said to me, I felt so inspired by your story. I felt connected because I also been through something similar. Or I felt connected because I am not a native speaker and I am an immigrant in a particular country. So all these, I'm just checking that my charger is connected. So just bear with me a minute. So this was really powerful for me because it's seeing ROI, return on your investment, in your time, contributing your knowledge or expertise and sharing it on podcasts. That means people are hearing it, people are connecting with it, and they're reaching out. So that means you have made an impact. And once you have shared your story and made an impact and made that instant connection, you start to attract people to your network. You start to attract people who actually know something about you. So you don't have to build authority or trust from the very beginning. You already have built some sort of social clout with them. So you can attract actually better clients because you position yourself as an expert, better opportunities, and also other media exposure. And that has worked not only just for me, but also many speakers who have been featured on the Women Thrive Summit and our Women in Business stages. So how would you like to become a more powerful speaker and reach the ears, the hearts, and the souls of people worldwide? And I say the ears the hearts and the souls, because it's not just about the ears. So many speakers want to get up on stage and just educate, just share your knowledge. But what I have found over the years of public speaking, that is not just about the ears. You got to be able to reach the hearts and the souls of people that you're addressing. You got to be able to connect with them with your personal story. You got to be able to touch their hearts and make them feel something. Once you make people feel something, whether about themselves or about your talk, they are emotionally connected with you. And when people are emotionally connected and touched, they will remember you. They will remember what you shared. They will remember your story. They will tell your story to other people, and they will be inclined to take action. So whether you're making call to action at the end of your talk or your workshop, if you are able to not only touch the ears, but the hearts and the souls of your audience, you will attract better clients, better opportunities, and media exposure. So just a little bit about myself for those of you who may not know me, and I would love for you to follow me on Instagram if you can at Raimonda Yankunete. So my name is Raimonda Yankunete. I am the founder of the Women in Business Club and also the Women Thrive Summit, which is our annual event for women empowerment. And since last year, we also started our Women Thrive magazine. My whole mission is really to create a platform where women are seen and heard, where women are spotlighted, because I know how difficult it is to run a business and run a business being not seen, not heard, and not being appreciated or valued for what you have, for your ideas. Many years ago, I've been an entrepreneur for more than 10 years, since I was age of probably 21 officially, but probably 15, 16, I was already very, very entrepreneurial. And I have seen my own family start many businesses. So over those years, I found my passion in entrepreneurship. But unfortunately, not everybody shared my vision. Not everybody saw what I saw. Not everybody were supportive of my ideas. Not everybody were entrepreneurial. So that means over the years, I have had to deal with a lot of pushback, a lot of non-believers, a lot of doubters, a lot of not supporters in my own network, very close network, friends network. A lot of people moved away because of what I started to do in my professional life. And that's okay. As we grow as individuals, we have to find our own tribe. So I have been very lucky to build my own tribe, which was Women in Business. I started with one event back in 2017, which was called Women in Business Event. And within this first event, we actually doubled the bookings of the amount of seats that we had in the room. And this was my beginning of finding my mission, my passion, and my tribe around me, which was women in business. Since then, I have been able not only to build the visibility for my business. Within the first year, we reached more than 100,000 followers on our Instagram. I've been able to build my own personal brand that is almost stronger than my actually business brand. So now I can help other people to build that visibility. I do public speaking mentoring, and I also help women establish their authority, because there are so many people in this online world. But the question is, why should people trust you? Why should people buy from you? Why should people work with you? Why should people have you on stage, right? If you haven't got established authority, expert status in your area, in your niche, or have got a track record, why should someone hire you? Why should someone listen to you? So that's what I do. I help women position themselves as the experts, become visible, and become sought after speakers, experts, coaches, mentors, you name it. So that's a little bit about myself. Of course, I've hosted many events. You'll see some of the images from here from London, some of our last events before COVID, unfortunately. So these used to be our summer events in London, and I purposely keep it around 100 people in attendance, because I want it to be very intimate and fun and networking. And many of our speakers have flown from all around the world. So you see many of these ladies on these chairs. This lady was from Spain, from Netherlands, from Wales. Some of these ladies have flown in from Atlanta, from LA, New York, Australia. Italy. So our speakers have all, and our community has always been very, very international. And I have been very, very blessed to have built such an amazing platform for women to speak, to share their expertise, to network, to connect. Since the pandemic hit, in 2019, we're meant to be doing our international expansion to Atlanta. But unfortunately, a few weeks before our Atlanta event, COVID happened, and we have had to turn all of our live events into a virtual event. At that moment in time, when I was faced with this decision to cancel our first international expansion event, which was huge, a really huge deal for us because we have spent many, many months planning it, preparing, and of course, planning event from London, where I've lived for more than 20 years. It wasn't an easy thing to do. So that year, I was really faced with this adversity, if you like, to what should I do, right? We have built such an amazing community, and it was a question of, should I give up? Because the pandemic started and it really hit me pretty hard. But what I was able to do is actually turn that event around from 250 people in attendance and 8 speakers to nearly 2,000 virtual attendees and more than 30, I think it was 34 speakers for our event in 2020. It wasn't in March, it was in April, because it took us a little while to turn things around. But now we host the Women Thrive Summit, which is, it's really about women rising and thriving, right? Because we have been, especially for women, we have been through some really difficult situations in life, some unique experiences that men would probably never experience, right? We have not had it easy. And especially during the pandemic, we have had to deal with, taking care of our homes, looking after people, looking after our kids, running our own businesses, or going to work. There were so many things that we had to deal with during the pandemic. So this event really came through the women, through the pandemic, and it has become our annual Women Thrive Summit that we host every March. And this is our latest post from the last event. Like I said, we are having another event coming up in October and then March in 2023. So I'm very excited because our speaking opportunities are going to be opening very soon. And actually, today's workshop hopefully will help you, whether you're applying for the Women Thrive Summit, whether you're applying for any other speaking opportunities, it will help you position yourself. The reason I'm really sharing this is just so you get to understand where I have come from, how we have built our community, the women we have hosted through our community. So you get to kind of understand that, there are so many people in this world who are here with the same mindset to support each other, to create impact, to share their stories. I have been so blessed. It nearly brings me to tears to think about all of these women you see in these pictures. I have got the opportunity to connect with them on a personal level. I had the opportunity to work with them, to hear their stories, to encourage them, to help them position their talks, to collaborate, do panels, do interviews with them, podcast interviews, so many things. And this is the beauty of a business. When you have a powerful mission, when you have a goal to do something, it's phenomenal when you start to share your story, when you start to share your mission and what you're looking to achieve. You'll be surprised how many people you can get behind your mission. All of these women that you see in these pictures have flown from around the world, have attended, have contributed to a platform, have spoken, spent many, many hours with us preparing for these summits and adding so much value, not because they were paid, not because they were getting, of course, they were getting exposure and some social kudos and promotion, but none of that. They flew from all around the world and contributed hours because they believed in my mission, because they believed in my story. And that is the power of storytelling. That is the power of your mission today. So I want you to think about, what is your mission? What is that thing that you can drive people with to join you on this journey? Because you are on this journey, and I believe that you're on this journey for a long haul, right? You've been through something. So, who can you impact and who will join your mission for the long run? All right. A lot of these women that you see in these pictures, I'm still very much connected. I can pick up the phone to them and have a conversation and reach out to them and, you know, have that mutual support. And that's what you want in business. You want to be able to have and surround yourself with people who will be there for you. So true. You will help someone when you never know you could. Exactly, Anna. So that's what happens when you start to share your story. Is this interesting? Is this connecting? I don't want to spend too much time, but I think it's just so important for you to kind of understand just how we manage to do what we do today. So let me know in the comments if this is inspiring for you to hear. So as Anna was saying, you never know how you can impact people. And through public speaking, I've seen many women share their stories on our stage. And there's something very interesting because I've seen very, very experienced speakers on our stage. I've seen women who have spoken on many stages before, and I've seen women who never shared their stories before. I've seen them on stage for the very first time. And it's interesting because months later, when I would meet up with someone who attended our event or, would have a catch-up call, they would be able to recite somebody's story from that event. And remember when I said that you should not only aim to reach the ears, but also the hearts and souls of people that you're addressing on stage. So these first-time speakers, because it means so much to them to have this first-time speaking engagement, and they quite vulnerably open up about their stories, possibly for the very first time, they have been able to make such a huge impact and imprint those stories in someone's mind that those people were able to share those stories and recite their stories with others. So when I say that the power of your story and the power of public speaking is that your name will probably be mentioned in the rooms where your feet have not stepped into. And it's so, so true, because once you're able to share your story in a way that other people can connect with, your story will be shared. Your name will be mentioned. You will be referred to other people if you're able to bring forth your ideas, your story, your impact, and your mission. Believe me, that your name will be mentioned in various rooms. And that has happened to me and many other speakers that we have hosted through our platform. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. I hope this is what you're aspiring to do with your public speaking today, to have your name mentioned in rooms that your feet have not stepped into. When I saw this quote, I was like, this is amazing. This is what I want for our speakers to strive for. Oh, my throat. Okay, let's keep going. You excited to keep going? Let's go. A little bit about my past experience in speaking. I have been very blessed to work with Mr. Les Brown, who is probably one of the most well-known and probably number one motivational speaker in the world. He has been around for many years, many decades, I would say. And I have been part of his speaking training academy. And it has been such an amazing experience to not only work with him, but also to mentor and work with some of his speakers in a private setting, as well as host some of his events. So I have been able to work on Dare to Dream event this time last year, hosting all of these amazing speakers, and facilitate and host as a co-host Hungry for Greatness event, which was a virtual event hosted by Mr. Les Brown and his organization, and as well as be part of the organization of the Les Brown Experience in New York City, which I never made it to because of the COVID restrictions, but I was definitely behind the scenes helping him organize it. So this has been an amazing experience for me. And when I first met Mr. Les Brown, he said to me, and this is a question I want to ask you today: why do you want to speak? I want you to share in the comments today of Why do you want to speak? Why is this important to you? Because if you're here for a long haul, if you're here for a long haul to impact people, motivate, share your story, what is the purpose? What is the mission? Or why are you doing this? I'm really curious to know this because that was the first question Mr. Les Brown asked me on our first interaction. And my answer came to me, and this was 5 years after hosting events and speaking and doing podcasts, interviews, you name it. I did it all. But I really wanted to work with him and learn more about public speaking. So when he asked me this, my heart skipped a beat, to tell you the truth. And my mind went to a time in my life when I've lost my voice. So I said to him, Mr. Les Brown, I know what it feels like to lose a voice. And that is why I feel so passionate to speak. So he asked me a little bit more about the story, and I wasn't quite ready to fully share it. But this was kind of a revelation about true power of public speaking. Because when I was in my 20s, I went through a very painful, kind of mentally, probably physically abusive relationship in my 20s. And this relationship has left me so scarred and so broken that I wasn't actually able to speak. After our last encounter with my ex, I wasn't able to speak. I lost my voice. I remember seeing my mom. We went on a holiday to my home country in Lithuania, and we were surrounded by friends, and I wasn't able to speak. And she knew there was something wrong with me, but she didn't probe, and she was just there to support me. And this experience has gone on for almost 2 years, where I would avoid social gatherings. I would avoid going to meet my family or my friends because I actually emotionally was so broken that I couldn't speak. My identity was torn away from me. I didn't know who I was. My confidence was gone. It was to the point where I wasn't even able to write a social media post. And for many years, I wanted to forget this experience, that it has ever happened. I didn't want anybody to find out, because to me, this was the most shameful thing to have experienced in my life and gone through, the most painful thing to have gone through. So I didn't really want anyone to find out about this. So I was shocked myself when my answer came to Mr. Les Brown. It was an audience of about 70 to 80 people in this virtual training. And I thought, oh my God, I just revealed a bigger secret that I have never shared before. And I was ready. I was ready to share the story for something that once was the most painful thing in my life. At this moment in time, it was no longer painful. It became my mission. It became my purpose, because I knew, and I didn't know why I wanted to speak, but in that moment, I realized why this was so important to me, because I knew what it feels like not to have a voice. And when you lose the ability to speak up for yourself, ability to express yourself, to tell people how you actually feel and be assertive about what you want, because you're feeling so lost and broken within yourself, I knew this was my mission for life. I knew I will never want to lose my voice again, and I will never allow any other woman to not be empowered of using her voice. So that's the reason why I started training other speakers. I started on this journey of public speaking and being so committed to building a platform where every woman can be spotlighted. To me, this was a mission. After the first training, Mr. Les Brown said, I want you all to come up with your signature quote. And I struggled with this quote. And I remember a few minutes before going on to the next training with Mr. Les Brown, a download came over me. And this was the quote that was just a download that came on me. And this quote reads, let your wounds be your inspiration, your story, your motivation, and your voice, your secret weapon to inspire others. Because your voice can inspire other people. It can move people to action. It can change lives. So anything that you have been through, your wounds, let that be your inspiration. Don't let that be something that has torn you apart and made you run for the woods or made you hide, made you feel disempowered. Make that to be the most empowering thing that you can lean on. Those wounds have healed. That pain you have gone through has power. It has purpose. It has a reason why you have gone through it. You've gone through it. You are strong. Now you're standing in your power. So use that story as a powerful thing to motivate other people and encourage them to be better. Encourage them to get over the pain or the struggle or something they're going through in their lives. That is your secret weapon. Never forget that your voice is power. Don't ever let anybody take away your voice, ever. Use it as your secret weapon. People will not know. People will not know, understand what happened when you start to share your story in the most powerful way. That's your secret. As a speaker, your wounds are not shameful. They're not here to crush you. This is your secret. This is your power. And I want you to lean on that. I want you to think about the stories and the things that you have been through. You may not feel motivated, but when you share with other people, they will be motivated. Like I have come to the UK as an immigrant girl. I couldn't speak English. I never thought I could finish university, school, even school. I never thought I could actually get a good job because my family worked for minimum wage. This story, again, I didn't think this was inspirational for anybody until I remember sharing the story in a taxi. I was driving in a taxi and saying, this was my first job. And the guy said, well, what are you doing since? I said, well, I just graduated from business school, law school. I have my own business. He's like, that's amazing. You have come here to the UK as a young immigrant girl. You learned the language. You've done something with your life. I didn't think this was inspirational for anybody. But then once I started sharing it, I realized there is power in your story. There is power in your struggle. You have to share that story with people and impact the world. Yes, it says, I was afraid to speak out. I want others to know it's okay to speak out. Yes, I was afraid of being judged if I spoke what I felt and I want to touch other people's. Yeah, that's right. We're so afraid of being judged. That's the reason why I wanted to hide. When that pain hit me, when I lost my voice, when I felt not good enough, when I felt used, abused, and crushed. This was shameful. I thought if I share this with anybody, people will judge me. But guess what? When I started to share that story, people found it inspirational. That I have been able to go through something like that and come out on the other side and become a speaker after losing my voice. So you have gone through some things in your life that can touch the hearts and souls of other people. And I want you to remind yourself that that is inspiration for other people. That's your secret weapon. Don't be afraid to share your story, because this could be somebody's saving grace right now. Somebody is praying for your story right now. This is some of the other events that I have spoken on. This was amazing, Natasha. And again, I was going through something very personal and difficult during this very week when I got up on this stage. And I could have hid. I could have said, I'm not able to speak on this stage. I could have turned the speaking engagement away. But I used my pain as my purpose. And I got up on this stage and the lady said, I have never seen you deliver so powerfully, because I channeled any pain and struggle and any suppression that I felt during that time as my superpower. And that is so powerful when you're able to channel your emotions on stage and use it to inspire other people. Never cry on stage. And I say never cry on stage because your audience should cry. If you're going to touch them emotionally, they should feel the emotion, not necessarily you. Okay? So that's a little bit of, you can tell I just love this. Okay, so let's get down to a little bit of this is kind of the inspirational part. I didn't plan on spending so long, but let's go into more practical things. So let's talk a little bit more about your positioning as the expert. Surely you want to land some more speaking opportunities and you want to position yourself as the expert. So here are some of the things that event organizers, myself included, are looking for when you're applying for speaking opportunities. So the first thing that you should really consider is your story. What is your story? What is your original story? What have you been through? What were the most painful things in your life? What are those experiences where you felt crushed? This is your gem. This is your gold, which you can use to empower, inspire other people. This is what people really want to hear. The background story, the behind the scenes, the things that people don't usually share on social media or share it in the dinner party. This is the interesting thing. People are not always interested in your knowledge. Sometimes they are, if depending on the format that you're running. But people want to feel something and they want to hear your story. That is the reason why people would listen to you. They want to see, as event organizers, I want to see that you're an expert or you have an experience. So if you're positioning yourself as an expert, I want to see that you have experience, you have results, that you have that visibility and positioning as an expert. So I want to ask you, what are you known for? What are you actually known for? Maybe you're working in mindset, maybe you're working in technology, maybe you're working in a particular field or area of expertise. What are you known for right now? But more importantly, what do you want to be known for? What do you think people would know you for? Once you start sharing your story, your experience, your results, what you've been through, what are you going to be known for? People are very fast to attach kind of things to you, but can you impact those thoughts and ideas of you positively through speaking, right? So it's important to be known for something or create this thing that you want to be known for. Okay, like I am known as, yeah, that immigrant girl. The first time I was working with one of my PR agencies, I wasn't really comfortable sharing any of these things. I'm like, I don't want to be known as this poor immigrant girl. She's like, that is the story that is going to be inspiring for people. I'm like, really? So it took a lot to start sharing that story. But once I did, people could relate to that. Other people could relate to that because they also immigrated and have had to learn languages and have had struggles and things like that. So what do you want to be known for? And how do you want to connect with your audience? Also, what's important is your referrals, your clients, your testimonials, your thought leadership. Are you working on your thought leadership right now? So this is more from the expert authority building perspective. What is your thought leadership? Are you speaking about the subjects that you're an expert in? So when someone is seeking for that expert to speak on a stage, they can see that you have already been speaking about this subject for quite a while, and they can see you're an expert. What really helps with finding, or I guess attracting or landing those speaking opportunities, is having consistent personal brand. And having that consistent personal brand across social media platforms, across any media that you're doing, any speaking, it creates instant trust. It creates instant trust with people. It positions you as an expert. It helps you charge higher prices for your services. It helps you build credibility. And it certainly opens new doors to new opportunities. And that's why I asked you, what do you want to be known for? You want to be able to position yourself for new opportunities, for new clients, to build that trust, to become known, to be recognized. So when people, let's say, asking, I want an expert who has this particular experience or who has been through that particular thing, your name comes up in somebody's mind like that. So that's what happens when you start to position your brand, when you start to speak about it, when you share your story, and all of those things start to become consistent across the social media platforms, across media platforms, across what you're sharing, across different podcasts that you're doing, your public speaking, then you become that sought after speaker, expert, coach, mentor, whatever you want to call yourself in your expertise. So how are we doing so far? Let me know in the comments below. How are you getting on? You finding this valuable? Is this information that you already knew, or is this something new that you're finding out today? Where do you find yourself? Do you think you're at 10, like, yeah, I've got this sorted, or do you feel like I'm still working on it? So if you're still right at the beginning, put 1. If you're somewhere in the middle, put a number in the middle. And if you feel like, yeah, I've got it sorted, my personal brand, my authority is there, I'm there at 10. Okay, awesome, very valuable. Thank you so much, Ayana. So remember, you do have a replay for this, so you can come back to any part of this workshop at any time. So speaking opportunities, how to get started with public speaking. Let's go. What do you need as a speaker? So here are some of the things that you want to prepare as a speaker. And feel free to take screenshots if you want to tag me in any of the social media channels. Obviously, really appreciate it. I want to say that this is a valuable workshop for you. Yeah, feel free to reach out afterwards if you feel like this has been valuable. So what do you need as a speaker? Well, first of all, I always look for well-positioned, powerful story. You have a powerful topic and a powerful story to go with it. Title of your talk is important because that's what usually people go by, whether they come to attend your workshop or talk, or whether it's an event organizer trying to consider you as a speaker for their event. So for that, you need a defined topic or topics and your signature talk. What is your signature talk? You may not be there yet, and that's okay. You might develop it over time. And I never said, your signature talk should be something that you have practiced over and over again. It shouldn't be something you just come up with and written yesterday. It may become your signature talk, but as you practice it over and over and over again, and you see that there is impact, there is value, people walk away and like, oh my God, this was the most amazing talk I have ever heard, right? You want to practice, you want to make sure that you test it. So before you start to charge people for your speaking, for the speaking engagements that you may be doing in the future, you want to have your signature talk, but you got to have it tested. You can't just go and say, hey, this is my signature talk. I've never done it before. Okay, so another thing that you probably can't go without if you're wanting to become a speaker, professional photos. Super important. Genuinely, it's the hardest thing when we're an event organizer and we don't have professional photos and we have to work with selfies or just really not very good quality photos. I highly encourage you to have some professional, semi-professional photos, even if you have to do it yourself, dress up, have a nice background or even no background at all, and just take some headshot pictures, different poses and things like that. That will elevate your personal brand. So do make sure you invest a little bit into that. You want to have a speaker bio. Speaker bio is really important because that's something that will be read by your event organizer, will be used across social media platforms, promoted. It's the first thing that people will ask. Wherever you go to speak, that's the first thing people will ask, your speaker bio. So make sure you have that ready. There are, of course, ways of doing it, and I do train how to write your speaker bio, and we help people do that through our academy, but that's more about that later. Speaker reel. You want to have a speaker reel, right? Once you become a speaker, you want to clip all of those little videos of you speaking and create your speaker reel that will help you promote yourself. So that's basically little video snippets of you speaking on stage. You want to have your social media presence. A lot of speaking engagements will require you to have a minimum number of, let's say, followers that will check out your social media, that you have a consistent brand. You may be required to have a particular size email list. If you haven't started working on any of those things, then I highly encourage you to join the Women in Business Club and learn about how to build your social media presence, how to attract more people onto your social media, how to do marketing, how to build your email list. A lot of that training is available inside the Women in Business Club, and the link is just underneath this video. And what other thing that people will be looking for is credibility. Are you a credible person? Are you trustworthy? Can I place you on my stage and trust that the people who will come to work with you will get good service? You will be trustworthy enough to deliver on your word, right? I have had many experiences with speakers, and I could tell you, when people apply to speak on our stage, they're like, yeah, I want to engage, I want to speak, I want to do everything. And then they go missing. They go missing for a few weeks, months. They don't promote the summit, they don't promote the event, and they just show up. And that doesn't help your credibility. That doesn't even help you promote yourself. That doesn't help your visibility. So whatever you engage in, make sure you follow through on your word. Make sure that you are a credible person to work with and to collaborate with. Because if you don't have that credibility, everything will fall apart. So that's really, really important. If you haven't got a stage yet, so maybe you haven't been putting yourself out as a speaker, you don't know where to get speaking opportunities yet. That's something I did for myself, was to create our own stage. If you don't have speaking opportunities, create your own stage. That's what I've done by hosting our own events to start with. That's what I've done by hosting our own workshops, our own podcast, and doing our lives and all of that. I created my own social medias. I created my own stage before I got to speak on any stages. Marquita, yes, this will be available later. There will be a replay. I definitely encourage you to stay till the end so you can ask questions and engage. So if there's anything you need answered, do make sure you ask, and I will support you. So social media lives is a good way to start. Your own events, summits, virtual summits. I've done quite a few of those by now, and they're just so much fun. Genuinely, they help you build your authority, help you build your email list, help you to bring new audience, position yourself as the expert. Creating your own stage is wonderful. You can start a podcast. You can start a YouTube channel, videos, do just normal videos of yourself. Which one of these have you done before, or you have already done? So let me know in the comments if you've done social media lives, maybe done your own event, maybe done a podcast, YouTube. Let me know in the comments below. Right. So I look forward to your comments. If you want to become a speaker on other people's stages, you've got to find a stage to speak on. So some of the ways to start in public speaking, one of which is research your industry. Researching your industry for events, for podcasts, for people who are leading things in your particular niche, in your industry, who have those particular events that you want to focus on, you want to speak on. A lot of event organizers open their speaking opportunities months in advance. Now, we have an event coming up in October. We're already opening our speaking applications 1st of June. So that gives us good 5 to 6 months of planning, preparation, interviewing, and working with the speakers. Because event planning is not a snap your fingers and it happens activity. It takes a while. For us, it could take anywhere from 2 to 6 months to plan and prepare for. So it is a big thing. So when you're thinking about applying for speaking opportunities, research it, connect with the event organizers, connect with them and stay top of mind. Engage with them, attend their events, figure out what they're about. Because if you're attending, engaging, and you're part of that community already, you have many more chances of being selected as a speaker if the event organizer already knows you, right? You can also ask in your own networks, Facebook groups, putting yourself out as a speaker is the best thing. Because a lot of times people don't know you're a speaker until you start to show people that you are a speaker, that you're putting yourself out there as a speaker. You're promoting yourself as a speaker, and you're putting out like podcasts and interviews and things like that so people know you're a speaker, right? You're not just saying it because you're already doing it. So follow those event organizers and also be part of communities. So like a Women in Business Club is a community where you can connect with other people, where you can actually find speaking opportunities. You can get onto our podcast. You can do some lives, and we interview our members on our social media. So all of these little things can help you build your visibility, your authority, find new speaking stages. And also, once you have had speaking engagements, leverage it. So after being confirmed as a speaker, and I know we're going into a lot of details here, let me know if this is maybe, I don't know, maybe you're getting bored. Hopefully not. After being confirmed as a speaker, I want you to make sure that you promote a speaking opportunity, promote the speaking opportunity and lead up to the event, okay? That is how you're going to showcase that you're actually a speaker. That's how you're going to grow your authority. Because if you're not promoting yourself as a speaker, if you're not promoting and supporting the event and the stage you're speaking on, then why you're doing it, right? This is what's going to help you leverage for more speaking opportunities. Many of the speakers who have engaged through our summit, spoken, promoted, been very active, has had many other speaking engagements, including paid speaking engagements. In fact, there was one summit a few weeks after our summit, or a month or two after our summit, and I saw maybe 6 speakers from our stage on another summit. So that means whoever is the event host for this other event, she was paying attention who were speakers on our stage. She thought, okay, these speakers must be good, they must be vetted, so I want them on my stage. So whoever the event host invited 6 out of the 30 of our speakers on her stage. You want to create content whilst you're at the event, so that might be part of your speaker reels, content that you will be able to use for promotion, marketing, and using as testimonials. You may want to ask for a recording of your talk if there is one. Ask for those testimonials and recommendations. So whilst you're at the event, have a little conversation with the event host if she or he has the time. Ask for a recorded testimonial, written testimonial, recommendation. Ask them if they have any other opportunities that they could think of to put you forward. This is very, very powerful to just get ahead of the game. Pitch for other speaking opportunities whilst you're still doing them. Again, whilst you have a speaking opportunity that's hot, pitch yourself for more, okay? And then network with others at the event. You never know who might be at the event. If you touch someone's heart and soul and their mind, there might be other event hosts. There might be other podcast hosts at the event. Exactly. So Ayana says, I'm trying to put myself out there and trying to gain opportunities, right? All of these little things, it sounds little, but if you really put them all together, it starts to reap benefits. I've done it myself. I helped other people do it. I have seen many of our speakers do all of these things and really, really succeed. It takes time. It takes patience. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight. You might be a speaker, but for a few months, you might not be actively doing it. So again, once you come back to it, it takes a bit of time to get the momentum going again. So I want to ask you, what are you going to be doing after this workshop? So we're coming to an end. If you have any questions, let me know. But I want to ask you, after this workshop, I commit myself to, and I want you to write something in the chat box right now. What are the 3 things that you want to commit yourself to doing after this workshop? Because this isn't just about come and get a little bit of information and, keep it in your notebook. I want you to practice it. I want this time next year to see you on our stage, right? Next March for the Women Thrive Summit, I want to see you on our stage. I want to make sure that this information that I have just shared with you will be used for you to grow, for you to advance and become a speaker and start to leverage it. So what are you going to be doing after this workshop? Maybe you're going to be building your own stage, right? Maybe you'll start a podcast. Maybe not a podcast. It's too much for you to figure out. Yes, it is. I've done 2 of them, I know. And I didn't want to do it because it's, oh my God, there's so much to do. Maybe you're going to start doing social media lives because once you start applying for speaking opportunities, people will be checking your social media out. You want to be seen as a speaker. Maybe you're going to start researching your industry. Maybe you're going to start writing your bio or booking a professional photo shoot. What are you going to be doing after this workshop? So commit yourself. I want you to make that commitment to yourself that, you know what, after this workshop, I will do that. At least just 3 things, right? And I know sometimes it's easier to work with other people and it's easier to have that accountability. So I want to share something with you. I know at the beginning of this workshop, I have told you that I will have an offer at the end. So I do want to invite you to learn a little bit more about the Women Thrive Speakers Academy. This is my passion. This is my baby. This is something that I have created to help other speakers build their speaking careers. And this is what I want to help you with. So I just want to, before we go there, I want to share Ayana's comments. I want to practice and put my story out there, getting out there opportunities to be a guest on a podcast and keep writing. Yes, and I would love to join the Speakers Academy. Thank you so much, Ayana. So I'm excited to share with you. And okay, before we go there, if you're feeling stuck, okay, and whether you're joining the Women Thrive Speakers Academy or not, but if you're feeling stuck, and this is a quote that came from Jan Dowdy, who was a speaker at the Women Thrive Summit this year. She's a communications expert. And you see, her name is being mentioned in this room right now. So the greatest failure is staying stuck because you did not ask for help. Okay. As entrepreneurs, we're so accustomed to doing it on our own because that's what we know. That's what we're used to, right? And we struggle. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're not doing this. Don't be stuck and working your own mind over and over again. Ask for help, okay? Our community is here. My DMs are always open. We have the Women Thrive Speakers Academy. We have lots of women in our community that have been through different things. Don't be stuck, right? It's the greatest failure not asking for help. The help is there. The help is always there, okay? But you just have to have the courage to ask for it. Thank you, Jan. That was an epic quote. So a little bit more about the Speakers Academy. It's open for enrollment now. It's not going to be open for too long. So do make sure you enroll. The reason I want you to enroll now, because if you go through our program right now, your story will be featured at the next Women Thrive Summit. And the Women Thrive Summit speaker application is opening very, very soon. But with the Speakers Academy, I will be able to help you and help you prepare for your speaking engagement. And this happens a lot of the times where women actually do get confirmed as a speakers and they start to freak out like, oh my God, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have the bio. And it's a preparation. So through the speakers program, here are some of the things that we're going to be doing. So with the Speakers Academy, we work on your mindset. Mindset is really important, and your confidence as a speaker. If you want to get up on big stages and TEDx stages and even the Women Thrive Summit stage. And I've had women come to me and say, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. My talk, I haven't written, I've changed it. And it takes growth. It takes growing into, because public speaking is a scary thing. I do agree. But over time, you will have the confidence. You will have the mindset of a speaker because you will know what to do. You will know how to share your story. And you will know how to confidently get up on that stage. So we'll help you prepare your speaker assets that will help you land more speaking opportunities. These are all your promotional assets as a professional speaker, not just the bio, not just the images. There are a whole lot of other things that comes with being a speaker and preparing your assets. So you have them, so you can get out there and promote yourself as a speaker, get those speaking opportunities, get onto podcasts. I'll show you some templates of the speaker promotional materials that you need and what you got to do. This will help you and will help you position yourself as the expert in your niche and become the sought-after speaker, because I told you, people have to trust you. You have to be positioned as the expert. That's really important. We're going to teach you and keep you accountable to keep seeking out new speaking opportunities. We will also put you on our stage. Every month, we have a speaker showcase event coming up starting in June. So every month for the rest of the year, we are going to be having speaker showcase events. As a speaker for our academy, you will have the opportunity to present every month. If that is your way to practice speaking, whether it's 5-minute segment, 10-minute segments, 30-minute segments, you gotta be on it. You gotta be able to get up on that stage and make an impact. Help you craft your signature talk for any possible stage, right? Your signature talk is important. Your origin story and all the things that goes with it. How to tell it in a powerful way. We'll show you how to actually make money on stage and get paid as a speaker. You want to be paid as a speaker and also be able to make money. If you're going to book yourself out for 5, 10, 15, 20 speaking engagements a year or just even a month, and that's possible, trust me, you want to be making money with it. So we'll show you what you need to do in order to start attracting your ideal clients, what you need to say, and how to actually get paid doing it, okay? So we will help you develop your voice and your storytelling skills to captivate your audience and move them into action. And that is the secret. Once you're able to move people into action through your storytelling skills and be able to captivate your audience. This training is for aspiring speakers as well as existing speakers because this is your accountability program. This is your way to landing more speaking opportunities. We will be opening our own black book of speaking engagements, of opportunities, our podcast, our event. These are all the stages that will be available to you because you're already in the Speakers Academy, because you're already being trained and have been trained as a speaker. Now, this program is ideally for 6 months. You can carry on and continue with the program thereafter because there will be other experts coming in. Now, those other experts will be here to support you. They will be here to show, to bring new knowledge and expertise. So whether you're looking at becoming a TEDx speaker or whether you're looking to build up stage confidence and just what you need to do, maybe you're looking at monetizing your speaking or you're looking at running webinars and how to do storytelling, we'll be bringing in experts throughout this program to help you, okay? So you can turn your story into a powerful speaking career and opportunity for more visibility and more reach. What's included? And I want to share the link. So let me just grab the link. If you are considering the Speakers Academy today, if you do enroll in the Speakers Academy today, you will get a one-to-one session with me. Okay, so if you get involved in this program today, you will have one-on-one session with me to help you uncover your origin story. So you will have an hour of a coaching time with me, and that is worth £500 right now. Okay, now if you want to have more time with me, you can enroll in the Speakers Academy and opt in for more one-to-one time with me. But initially, if you enroll during this webinar right now, you will get a one-to-one session with me worth £500. So let's talk about what's included in the program. So in the Speakers Training Academy, you will get weekly 2 hours training with myself or our guest experts in how to start and how to elevate your speaking career, okay? You will get to practice and get feedback to help you prepare yourself for speaking opportunities, position yourself as the expert, gain more clarity around your message and your signature talk. So feedback, preparation, practice. Weekly accountability in training and helping you secure speaking opportunities and feedback on your talks. As you share your talks with us, we will be giving you some feedback. Training, templates, and resources to help you grow. So that all comes part of the package. Monthly speaking events via our network. So exposure to our network of more than 600,000 people, 600,000 people in our followers. So you get to do some lives with us. You will get to speak on our monthly speaker showcase events. This is an opportunity that you get to be seen. You can't really buy into it genuinely, but being part of the program, you get trained and you get to practice in front of our audience. That's invaluable. I know it says worth £500, but genuinely is invaluable. Because once people get to know you through a network, again, is that trust element. Who refers you, what stage you're being seen on, and how you're positioned. That is an invaluable thing. You get private community where you can practice your talks and get weekly feedback to tweak your content, as well as to work with other people in this program. You get connections to event organizers and speaking opportunities, right? So you get to connect with other speaking opportunities and event organizers that we have within our list. And once you have gone through the program, 6 months within this program, you actually get to feature at the next Women Thrive Summit in March 2023, possibly in October if you're ready. But probably ideally you want to be speaking on the March 2023 event. So that is it. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer it. I hope you found this training valuable. The Speakers Academy is open right now. I know the enrollment isn't going to be open for long. Our speaking opportunities. So I did mention at the beginning of this talk that I will be sharing a little bit more about upcoming Women Thrive Summit. So the next summit is being hosted throughout the month of October. Okay, we have 30 speaking opportunities. Every year we get hundreds of applicants. So I will be making sure that you will receive an email with a speaker application link once it does open if you do want to apply. But what I would encourage you is to get a little bit further ahead in your speaking career. Have some build authority in your field. Have your personal brand taken care of. Do some speaking engagements. Really prepare yourself, because once you put yourself on that stage, everything moves really fast. We need your speaker bio. We need your professional photos. We want to position you as a thought leader. We want to take you onto this journey to be visible. So a lot of people find this as a misconception. They apply for speaking opportunities because they want visibility. Yes, whilst the event might give you visibility, you already have to have some visibility. You already should have a position brand, a product. It's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to just bring you clients if your homework isn't done, if you're not positioned for this opportunity yet. So I definitely encourage, and why I do these workshops prior to we opening applications, because I want people to understand what you need, right? And this is some of the feedback that some of the speakers have had from the Women Thrive Summit, saying that, wow, I didn't realize just how much is involved in being part of a summit like this. I didn't realize how much is needed or how much I need to be prepared. And that's the reason why I share this information with you, because I want you to be prepared, whether it's for our stage or any other stage. A lot of event hosts are not going to tell you this. A lot of event hosts, they will just put you up on stage, and they will not help you prepare your talks, your talk titles, your social media. They will not help you prepare anything. And they will not help you leverage that speaking opportunity, because all they're thinking about is growing their email list. All they're thinking about is getting new audience into their world. We don't really care about the audience. We have the audience. For me, this is about the speakers. This is about spotlighting the women who have amazing stories. And every summit and every event, I dedicate at least 30 to 35% of our speaking engagements for first-time speakers, because first-time speakers are very, very powerful, impactful, amazing. I've had amazing experience, and there are not enough speaking opportunities right now for every person that wants to speak on stage. So that's the reason why I create first-time speaking opportunities on our stage, or opportunities for the first-time speakers on our stage, because we need to create more opportunities for people coming up, right? It's no good if our summit is just filled with big names and all these influencers who get to speak on any stage they choose. No, we're going to bring new voices, new stories. We're going to bring up new people into this world and let them have the stage, get their stories shared and heard, because your story is just as important as somebody else's. Your story is just as powerful as Les Brown's story, as my story, as any other influencer's story, because whatever you have gone through in your life is just as important. Maybe it has just been as powerful, as painful, and you have learned, if not just as much, maybe even more stories that you can empower more people with your story. And what it comes down to is just having an audience, right? So these influencers, they get to make the impact and change people's lives because they have the audience. You may not have the stage, you may not have the audience, but what you do have is your story. What you do have is your passion, is your mission. Why do you want to speak? Why do you want to share your story? What's important to you? I always ask when I interview people, why do you want to speak on our stage? Right? What's in it for you? I always ask them why you're here. Because if I can see their heart is in it, they have a true purpose and true mission to make a difference with their story, then I want them on my stage. And sometimes I don't even care how many followers you have. I don't care about none of that. It's not about that. For me, it's about getting your story onto a stage, off to a bigger audience so you can make more impact. So if you have any questions, let me know. I know some of you may be watching this on replay, and that's okay. Feel free to reach out. So if I don't have the funds to start the academy presently, can I do another time? I definitely want to do it. That's a very good question. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate that funds could be a challenge, and that's okay. Yes, you may be able to enroll in the future. I can't guarantee whether we're going to keep the same pricing. I would encourage you to at least join the Women in Business Club. Within the Women in Business Club, you will have some support. You will have some learning. We do have some speaker training, some marketing training, visibility training. We have had amazing Trisha Brooke, who has been a host for TEDx Lincoln Square, New York City. She has been a host for TEDx. She delivered 2 trainings on public speaking within our members club. I've done some training on that as well. So if a speakers academy is a little bit out of reach for you right now, I don't want you to break the bank, okay? I want this to be, maybe it's a little bit of a stretch, and that's fine, because ultimately you will be making money back from it, from all the support and the speaking engagements that you will be doing. But at least have some support. Have support through the Women in Business Club if you can. Currently, I think the first month is half price. So go in there, find some resources, and what you've learned today, start to implement it, okay? Because what happens maybe next year, you'll be so much further forward, and you already be able to put yourself more for different speaking opportunities. So to answer your question, yes, we will be running this program in the future. Right now, I think is the best time to do it because we're just starting this program. I'm putting all my heart and soul into it, and I know the speakers who will be on this cohort will get lots and lots of amazing value. But if it's not the right time for you, that's okay. But do make sure, don't make that mistake of going away and not working on it, not asking for help. Do reach out, do ask for help, do attend our events, do engage in different things that we're doing. So in the future, your name will be at forefront. And you will be surprised how quickly you can grow. I have seen women who joined not just our some of our programs or membership, but just what happens when your mindset changes. And that's the reason why I said to you, what are you committing yourself to? Once you make that commitment to yourself, I am going to become a speaker. I am going to become a business owner. I am going to become a coach. And this is what I'm going to do. Something changes. When you make that commitment to move forward into a direction that you have decided to move towards, and you have that accountability or support, something changes. You no longer look at excuses, or you no longer look at things that, well, I can't do it because. You start to find ways of how to do it. You start to find ways of how you can achieve it, how you can break through it. How can you do the impossible that you may not thought was possible before? And let me tell you, there is nothing impossible. you want to build your brand, if you want to build your coaching business, if you want to build any kind of business, genuinely, there's nothing impossible, right? I've gone through from nothing. Let me tell you one more story about my mom. And I shared this in one of our speaking engagements, one of our showcase events. When I was 16, we were living in London. My sister had quite, just a normal job. My mom was a cleaner and she was working at a minimum wage. I was working at below minimum wage. And we really didn't have the money. We didn't have the money. But my sister fell pregnant. And my mom said to my sister, and she wasn't really on good terms with her partner. So we knew that maybe they might not be together. But my mom said, I want you to keep the baby. But here's what's going to happen. We're not going to live in the house where we live right now, because we were renting this house and we were renting some of the rooms. So it wasn't exclusively just ours, right? So it was me, my mom, my sister, and there's a few other lodgers in the house that were renting it with us. And my mom said, if you have a baby coming, this is not how we're going to live. So my mom started to look for property to buy. And my dad at the time said to my mom, woman, you are crazy. How are you going to buy a house when you don't have the money? And my mom was like, I don't care if I don't have the money. I don't care. I'm going to buy a house. So they started to look for a house. And when I remember this day very vividly, because I was coming back from my work and my mom called me and she said, we're going to look for a property. Do you want to come with us? And I said, fine, let's go. So I got in a car and we stopped at a petrol station. We had last £5. That's like $7. We had a last £5. We put gas in the tank for £5 to go and look at a property to buy. We went to the property, we knocked on the door, and we fell in love with it. And my mom right there and then said to this lady, we're buying this property. She had so much conviction that we were going to buy this property that not having the money didn't matter. Her husband, my dad, saying to her, woman, you are crazy. You're never going to buy this house. And in fact, I'm actually not going to help you. That didn't matter. We didn't have money. We didn't have all the paperwork. We didn't have a deposit. Mom didn't care. All she knew that my niece, my baby niece, was coming into this world and she is going to figure it out how we can move into this house by the time my niece is born. My mom moved heaven and earth. She went back to Lithuania. She sold land. She borrowed money. She put properties on the line to be able to take out funds. She did whatever she had to do to take care of the paperwork. By the time came, she had the money. She put down the deposit. She bought the property. Few days before her birthday, I think 2 days after her birthday, on 5th of October, we moved into our house, our own house, our first house in England. And it's not cheap. We bought our house. My dad didn't approve. And in fact, he was so crushed that we managed to get this house. He moved out. He didn't move in with us. It was me, my mom, and my pregnant sister. My niece was born a month later, 7th of December, she was born. And we moved in, or 2 months later, we moved in on, I think, 7th of October. And we started the property search in like spring. So what I'm here telling you, that if you set your mind onto something, if you truly want something, and you make a decision to get that thing, you will get it. Lack of money, lack of support, lack of encouragement, not having the possibilities, working for a minimum wage, you will get there. I know it, because my own mom been able to buy a property with £5 in her pocket because she knew she wanted a better life. better life for me, better life for my sister and my unborn niece. My niece today is a 15-year-old girl and she still lives in that property. Many, many times my mom has been broke, but has been able to renovate the property, buy things, buy furniture. First, we had plastic chairs to sit on and have dinner on. We had to sleep on mattresses in order to, well, we had a home. We had a home. We didn't care that we had to do that, right? So I'm here telling you that whatever your mission, whatever your goal is, you can do it. Believe me. And it's not about investing in this program at all. If you want to invest in this program, it is here. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you become a speaker. But it's deeper than that. It's about your mission. It's about your commitment. It's about knowing that you are going to make a difference and nothing is going to stop you. Doesn't matter if you don't have money. It doesn't matter if you're broke. It doesn't matter if nobody believes you're going to be a speaker. It doesn't matter if you don't have a voice. It doesn't matter. Because if you have a mission today, if you have the desire to do it, you're going to do it. So that's me for today. It's been an honor and pleasure to share my story, to share my mission with you, to share my mother's story and everything that we have been through in order to help impact your life today. So I hope you have found this inspiring, encouraging, motivating, and I hope that you take your stories and turn them into powerful missions, turn them into a purpose. If you've been through pain, don't be there stuck with it. Don't be there feeling shame or guilt about what you have been through. Use it as your purpose. Use it as your mission. Take that story and use it. Use your voice. That's your secret weapon. Today I have a sore throat. And I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe it's going to hurt me, whatever. I don't care. Because I'm here for a reason. And there was times when I really didn't have a voice. And just a sore throat did not stop me from delivering this training today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your time. I know we ran over. If you do want to engage in the Speakers Academy, feel free to reach out, ask questions. I may send out a link to, if you want to ask some questions, feel free to do that. But for now, thank you so much for your time, for engaging, for asking questions. Ayana, thank you so much. I really appreciate you today. And anybody else who might have watched this or maybe watching this on replay, I hope you found this inspiring. And have a good rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.